This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
March 24th, things are going to change.
Survived a deadly shooting are now demanding change. Today, students returned to Marjory Stoneman Douglas High just 2 weeks after a former student opened fire there, killing 17 people.
Overnight, several fire crews responded to this home. This is on Jacksonville's south side, Deer Creek to be specific. Just before 3 o'clock in the morning, we're told, is when this fire began. Now, JFRD does say the fire is under control, and everyone who was inside this home, they managed to call 911 and they did get out safely. That happened overnight. Also, perhaps while you were sleeping, just waking up to this news out of Putnam County. The NTSB now investigating what caused deadly plane crash out near Crescent City.
Overnight, we know a dive team actually found the body of a second man in the underwater wreckage, and we have a crew on the ground. We're going to have more information for you throughout the morning right here on Good Morning Jacksonville. First, though, we have got to check in with your storm expert, meteorologist Mike Prangley.
Great to be with you, and we take a look at our great start Wednesday, and I tell you what, it's already a wonderful day. We can get the shorts back up, but it's kind of one of those days where you have wrap and peel weather. All right, as my friend Steve Smith used to say. So you start with the jackets, and then you finish with the shorts. Now here's the jacket weather. We still have some 50s left over this morning, 58 in St. Augustine. Now a little fog near Placa, 2 miles, but for the most part, I'm giving the green light go. I don't see fog as a big issue. Sunrise to enjoy. Snap those shots using hashtag GMJ654. We start at 54, and then a shorts kind of finish to our February with a high temperature of 80 degrees. This winter, one for the books. We'll take a look at that and your weekend coming up. But first, Katie Jeffries. Good morning, Katie, in the ViStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Hey, good morning, Mike. So your time is 5:01. Let's take a look right now towards 295 near US 1 Pritchard. So over here, you can see those flashing lights, and I believe that's just on the shoulder, possibly a little bit here in the left lane, but this is on the northbound side of 295. Had a crash there just before 4 a.m. So let's take a look here towards your traffic maps. Again, this is kind of on the northwest side of Jacksonville, 295 northbound near New Kings Road. That's where you need to look out for that crash over there in the shoulder, and looks like partially maybe in that right lane there as well. Elsewhere along your roadway, St. Johns County, I'm not seeing any problems here along US 1 or along I-95 in St. Johns County. No reported crashes or problems there, and I'm not even seeing any fog this morning. But if there are any problems, anything else happens, I'll let you know.
When we heard 5 more shots, we were like, this is no joke. Run from the door. Go now, move.
Yeah, this was Wednesday. It was Valentine's Day just 2 weeks ago. A 19-year-old went inside his former school, opened fire, used an AR-15, killed 17 people that day, injured many others. Now a memorial stands in front of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Broward County, and today students will return to class. The building where it all happened going to remain closed. The future of that building still uncertain. As you can imagine, it's going to be a very emotional day for that community, for the students, for the parents. Can you imagine sending your kids back to the scene of the crime? First Coast News' Alex Ositis now live in Parkland this morning. Alex, I know had an opportunity to speak to some parents and students about going back today. A little trepidation, I'm sure.
There is, Lou. A couple of the parents we spoke with say that it's going to be a game time decision this morning whether or not their kids are actually going to be going to school because of what happened just 2 weeks ago. But you can see this is one of the memorials set up here at Marjory Douglas, and this is just one of several. And just up the street here, the flowers, you can smell them from across the road. It's powerful and it's so upsetting, and many people out here are expressing their grief. Yesterday we got a chance to speak with some of them, just coming to pay their respects. And actually we saw as the barricades were set up, we do see continued presence of police out here. And this is going to be the scene for a few days at least, as these students are going to be on half days through at least the end of the week. Students on that limited schedule, they'll start at 8 o'clock this morning or just around and be let out before noon. That's to help the students and the staff adjust over the coming days. Support, though, coming from all over. We've seen canine therapy dogs brought in from across the state, meeting people out here at these memorials, just letting them pet these dogs and try to get some relief. And as for one 19-year-old who was out here yesterday, it says a journey that he's done and would do again. Take a listen.
I took a bus down and then I drove here, yeah. I just felt like I needed to be here, pay my respects.
Still to come, the message from that man to the kids of Marjorie Douglas and what he's prepared to do to stand behind them and offer his support. We'll have that coming up at 5:30. We're live in Parkland. Alex Ositis, First Coast News, on your side.
5 students from Stoneman Douglas organized a March for Our Lives. It's happening on March 24th. Now thousands of people will march in Washington, pushing for stricter legislation. Locally, there's already a march planned in Fernandina Beach. And 2 of the organizers tweeted last night about returning to school. Cameron Caskey says, quote, "I've never anticipated a 6 a.m. alarm more in my entire life," end quote. He used the hashtags positive, passionate, and proud to be an Eagle.
Well, David Hogg tweeted, quote, "When you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat." That's a quote from President Ronald Reagan as well. That's a story we're going to continue following throughout the day as those kids make their way back to their first day of school, unlike any other. We'll keep you updated both on air and online, firstcoastnews.com. And if you take us on the go with you, we'd appreciate it as well. You can download the First Coast News app. It is free in your app store.
It's now 6 minutes past the hour on this Wednesday morning, and just ahead right here on Good Morning Jacksonville, we're going live to Putnam County where a deadly plane crash is now under investigation. Lindsay Boach is there live with the latest details. We're back in 2.
Good morning. 3 seasons in 3 days, and we're frying eggs, here on this Wednesday. 80 degrees, mid-80s Thursday, and then the cooler winter winds return on Friday.
Still watching your roadways out there. This is a look towards 295, and just as quickly as that accident occurred, looks like they have cleared it now near New Kings Road. But still, as you're going through that area, of course, be careful out there this morning. Drive safe, but I'll keep you updated.
Good Wednesday morning. We appreciate you joining us here at Good Morning Jacksonville. Just 2 weeks ago, a teenager opened fire in a South Florida school, killing 17 people.
You know, in that community, Broward County and Parkland, everyone coming together to help process the grief, what has happened there. But across the country, so many people calling for change. What that change could be, still up for debate, of course.
We're hearing again and again, they're saying enough is enough. We've seen rallies, protests, demonstrations all over the U.S. Right now in Parkland, we have a crew there on the first day that these kids are heading back to class.
Yeah, Alex Ositis live. What an interesting morning it would be for parents, for mamas, for daddies sending their kids back into that scene of the crime. We're going to check in with them in just a moment. First, let's get our Wednesday started, our hump day right with meteorologist Mike Pranley and Katie Jeffries doing a little weather and traffic. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, hey, it's a great morning. Katie's here. We're tracking a green light go kind of situation, at least with the weather. I mean, check it out. You will need a jacket to start. All right, so we've got the cool start, 56 Jacksonville, 54 Palatka, but we're going to get over that Wednesday hump just fine because we've got good visibility across the area. Fog patchy at best. We're not expecting any advisories. And what we're watching meteorologically this morning is a warm front. So we've got one of those days with 2 seasons in one day. We'll start with the jacket weather and sweater weather, and then we'll get out the shorts. Have them ready because as we take a look, you see the fog, not a big issue. We're going to see those temperatures really bounce back with a nice rebound this afternoon. 54 to start and a green light go. Shorts weather, 80. I'll even have your golf forecast coming your way. But first, Katie Jeffries in that VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Hey, thank you, Mike. All right, starting with a live look outside at our roadways right now. Your time is 5:31. This is a live look towards the Fuller Warren Bridge. Traffic there moving very well. So let's take a look towards your traffic maps this morning. So far, we had one accident that occurred over in kind of northwest Jacksonville, but it has since been cleared up. So you don't even need to worry about it anymore along 295. Buckman Bridge looks good. US 17, no problems here if you're traveling towards NAS Jacksonville. Even Blanding looks good here as well. So far, it's been a pretty good start to the morning. Maybe you are in the Clay County area. If you are, I do have some good news. No reported crashes in Clay County at the moment. Same story over in St. Johns County. US 1 and 95 look pretty good. So if you're leaving St. Augustine, jumping on 95, right now, not seeing any problems. Back to you.
February 14th forever changed the lives of people in Parkland, Florida, really all across the nation. A 19-year-old opened fire at his former high school, killing 17 people. Now 2 weeks later, students and teachers are heading back to class. First Coast News' Alex Osiris, he is live in Parkland this morning, and Alex actually spoke to a few people there. Alex, we've got to know, what's the mood like at this point?
Keith, it's just incredibly sad. We spoke with a lot of people who were at that memorial yesterday, many just fighting back the tears if they could, bringing flowers and little pieces of memories. You can see here as these candles have been set up, things like stuffed animals, just to honor those 17 students. Now, the freshman building where this happened is surrounded by fencing, but banners of love and encouragement tied around it. School officials say that that building will never be used again, but until it's torn down, it's a reminder to everyone what happened and the reason for these candles, these flowers, these banners, everything set up. Now, today through the end of the week, half days are in order for these students. They'll be on a limited schedule. They'll start just before 8 o'clock and they'll go till just around noon today and through Friday, helping these students and the staff adjust to coming back to campus. The support coming from all over, including from off-duty officers around South Florida, planning to line the street to the school as these kids come back. Canine therapy dogs also being brought in. Now, a message from one college student who we met out at the memorial yesterday. He took a bus here to pay his respects. Now, what's next in all this? Take a listen.
Don't be scared that this is going to stop soon. And I feel like our generation is going to be the one to, end this.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, what residents here in Parkland say about the support coming from outside and what they have to say about that. That's coming up at 6 o'clock. We're live in Parkland. Alex Osiris, First Coast News, on your side.
Thank you, Alex. Hard to imagine there. One of the students injured in that shooting, Maddie Wilford, is a former Clay County student. Her story could have gone a lot of different ways, but thanks to first responders, she's back at home and she's recovering today. Lieutenant Laz Ojeda and his team rushed to the scene that day. They said they found Maddie inside. They thought she was dead at first glance. She had been hit 3 times. She had a shot to her chest.
First sight, it was believed that Maddie had deceased. She looked very pale. I looked at her. I gave her a sternal rub. I go, "Hey, how old are you?" No response. Second sternal rub. "Hey, how old are you?" She came around. She told me she was 17.
It's amazing, isn't it? Maddie was rushed to the hospital. Now, after 3 surgeries, she is expected to make a full recovery and be back at school next week. Unbelievable. Of course, we're going to follow this very carefully all morning long and throughout the day as those students go back to school. We'll keep you updated on air and online, firstcoastnews.com. And you can take the app with you on the go. If you'll download it from the App Store, it is for free. Keith?
Well, Tuesday, the St. Johns County School Board met to discuss school safety measures. The district says safety is one of their top priorities. Now, their plan is to have a sales tax generating $5 million spread out over 10 years. This will go toward monitoring systems, security doors, single points of entry, more cameras, and GPS systems on buses. The district met with parents Monday who said that they want more drills, stronger building security, and enhanced mental health counseling. You can see more of this right now on our website. That's firstcoastnews.com. Today, Putnam County Sheriff Gator Deloach and Putnam County School Superintendent, they will host a joint media conference. It's set for 3 this afternoon. We're going to bring you more details starting on First Coast News today at 5.
All right, your time right now is 5:37. Coming up, we're going to go live to Putnam County. Deadly plane crash being investigated. This happened overnight while you were sleeping. We got some more details for you just ahead. Stay there.
Nature decides on spring as a warm front sweeps away winter.
Traffic still not bad on your major interstates out of St. Johns County into Jacksonville. 95 looks good. So does I-10 and so does 295. But will it stay that way? I'll be here to help you out throughout the morning.